Welcome to Stats Madness. Joining me today is Frank Hardy. Liverpool clinched a 2-0 victory over Fulham, securing 5th place with 52 points, while Fulham sits at 11th with 44 points. Let's start with how Liverpool's tactics sealed the win. So, Liverpool's 2-0 win was decisive, but what do the match stats reveal about their strategy?
The 2-0 victory is clear, yet Liverpool's 18 shots were slightly fewer than Fulham's 19. They controlled possession with 53% compared to Fulham's 47%, showing home dominance. Importantly, they created 3 big chances against Fulham's 2, highlighting a 20% edge in creativity. These stats underline their tactical superiority despite a close shot count.
So, Liverpool showed some creative dominance, but how did they perform across key categories?
Liverpool dominated in attack with a 78.8 score, a 12% edge over Fulham's 61.8. In possession, they held 63.1 against Fulham's 59.5, showing a 3% advantage. However, Fulham led defensively with a 65.7 score, 5% better than Liverpool's 59.6. It was a tactically split contest, balancing attack, possession and defence.
So with Liverpool edging out in possession, let's dive into their attacking stats. How did they stack up on goal attempts and inside box shots?
Interestingly, both Liverpool and Fulham matched each other with 9.0 goal attempts. However, Liverpool had a slight edge inside the box, leading 14.0 to Fulham's 13.0. This indicates a marginal attacking advantage for Liverpool in terms of creating opportunities closer to goal.
Wait, really? So Liverpool was more efficient near the goal? What about Fulham's defensive strategy?
Yes, and on defence, Fulham led with 20.0 tackles to Liverpool's 17.0. This shows Fulham's focus on disrupting Liverpool's play. Their defensive efforts were more robust, compensating for the slight edge Liverpool had in attacking proximity.
Speaking of Liverpool's attacking edge, let's talk about momentum shifts. How did Fulham fare across different intervals?
Fulham capitalised on key intervals, dominating the 60-75-minute window with 5 shots to Liverpool's 1. They also saw a peak in the 0-15-minute window with a 100% successful cross percentage compared to Liverpool's 0%. These crucial moments allowed Fulham to control the game's rhythm, gaining momentum when it mattered most. Their ability to surge in these intervals set them apart strategically.
Considering Fulham's momentum control, how did Liverpool's performance stack up against their season averages?
Liverpool delivered an exceptional performance, particularly with 8 blocks, far exceeding their average of 3.16. They also managed 14 shots inside the box, surpassing the season average of 10.26. Additionally, their total shots reached 18, slightly above their usual 15.71. These stats highlight Liverpool's significant improvement in terms of defensive and offensive pressure this match.
With Liverpool exceeding their average in blocks last match, where do they currently stand in league-wide shot attempts?
Liverpool has truly solidified their elite status in the league, sitting in the top 5% with an impressive 18 total shots. Their season average is 15.71, easily surpassing the league norm of 12.4.
Wait, really? So they're consistently outperforming the league average in shot attempts?
Absolutely, Jamie. Interestingly, even in areas like long passes, Liverpool is showing atypical strength. They recorded 54, compared to a league average of 49.99, indicating tactical adaptability.
Speaking of Liverpool's league standing, how do they compare to their top 6 peers in key metrics?
Liverpool excels in shots total, averaging 15.71, topping Manchester United and Arsenal. However, their big chances created at 2.73 falls short, trailing Manchester City and Chelsea. Despite leading in shot attempts, they need to improve on converting opportunities to stay competitive with their peers.
So, while Fulham seems to be outpacing their peers in interceptions, how do they stack up against their own season averages?
Fulham's performance today shows significant improvements. They posted 13.0 interceptions, well above their season average of 8.29, marking a strong defensive effort. Additionally, Fulham recorded 19.0 shots total, surpassing their season average of 12.35, indicating a positive trend in their attacking play. Both metrics demonstrate that Fulham is elevating their game beyond their typical season performance.
So, Fulham outdid themselves in interceptions today. How do they fare in the league standings across other metrics?
Fulham's identity is evolving, particularly in successful long passes. They hit 63% today, compared to their season average of 45.48%, well above the league norm of 42.49%, placing them in the top 26%.
Wait, really? And what about their ability to create big chances?
Despite being in the bottom 21% for big chances created, Fulham matched the league average of 2.26 today, showing improvement from their 1.68 season average.
With Fulham's evolving league standing, how do they compare to their mid-8 peers in key metrics?
Fulham's shots total average of 12.35 lags behind AFC Bournemouth's 13.81 and Brighton's 12.84. In big chances created, their 1.68 is still below Brentford's 3.16 and Crystal Palace's 2.53. However, they match Newcastle and Bournemouth closely in ball possession, with Fulham at 51.81% versus Bournemouth's 50.28%. They're neck and neck in this area.
So, Fulham's possession stats align closely with Newcastle and Bournemouth. But let's switch gears. Who were the standout players?
Rio Ngumoha delivered an excellent shift for Liverpool with a 7.82 rating, really pushing the forward line. Meanwhile, Virgil van Dijk anchored the defensive line with a 7.76 rating. Not to be outdone, Georgi Mamardashvili, in goal, got a solid 7.61, showcasing his reliability. On the other side, Mohamed Salah was Liverpool's best forward with a 7.3 rating, ensuring the unit stayed organised.
Speaking of standout performances, let's talk about how Rio Ngumoha's numbers compare to his season average. How did he fare this time?
Rio Ngumoha turned in a consistent goals showing with 1.0, right in line with his 1.0 average. However, he delivered a masterclass in shots on target, registering 2.0, well above his 1.2 seasonal average. This indicates a notable improvement, especially considering the league average of 1.24. Ngumoha's ability to elevate his shot accuracy is key for Liverpool's offensive strategy.
So, Ngumoha's shooting accuracy is up, but where does he stand in terms of league-wide performance? What does the data say?
Rio Ngumoha is intriguing. While his chances created are concerning, ranking in the bottom 18% at 0.0 compared to the 1.66 league average, his successful dribbles tell a different story. He ranks in the top 16% among wingers with a season average of 2.3, exceeding the league norm of 1.6. This contrast highlights his dribbling prowess amidst broader creative challenges.
So, while Ngumoha's dribbling skills are evident, how does he fare when compared to his positional peers overall?
Ngumoha's performance is a mixed bag. While he leads in successful dribbles with 2.3 compared to Jeremy Doku's 2.0, he lags in goals, averaging 1.0, trailing behind Brian Mbeumo's 1.12. His accurate crosses also fall short at 1.2, whereas Doku averages 1.7. These stats highlight his dribbling strength, but indicate room for improvement in other areas.
Despite Ngumoha's mixed results, how does Virgil van Dijk measure up to his own past performances this season?
Virgil van Dijk delivered an impressive personal best in tackles with 2.0, significantly above his 1.22 season average. His duels won percentage was exceptional, achieving 100.0 compared to his usual 86.76. These numbers showcase his ability to elevate his game beyond typical season performances, maintaining a high standard in crucial defensive actions.
Van Dijk's defensive numbers were strong, but how does he stack up against league-wide benchmarks?
Interestingly, Virgil van Dijk's tackles are in the bottom 12% among centre-backs, with only 2.0 per match, below the 1.94 league average. However, his duels won percentage is exceptional at 100%, placing him in the top 16% of centre-backs compared to the 63.92 benchmark. Additionally, his aerials won percentage is elite, ranking in the top 2% with a season average of 69.2 against the league's 53.6.
Dominik Szoboszlai's league standing is impressive, but how does his performance compare to his season averages?
Dominik Szoboszlai's rating of 7.68 is right on par with his season average of 7.37. However, his key passes are slightly below average at 2.0 compared to 2.5. Notably, he's excelled in successful dribbles, registering 2.0 per match, significantly above his seasonal average of 1.32.
Szoboszlai's season performance aligned well with his averages, but how does he stack up against league norms?
Dominik Szoboszlai stands out in chances created, ranking in the top 16% with an average of 2.3 per game, above the league's 1.8. However, his successful dribbles are in the bottom 35%, with a season average of 1.3, below the league benchmark of 1.5. This contrast highlights his playmaking ability, while revealing where improvements could be made.
Georgi Mamardashvili's league performance was interesting, but how does he compare to his own season averages?
Georgi Mamardashvili excelled with saves at 4.0 per game, surpassing his 3.57 average. Inside the box, his 3.0 saves also outperformed the 2.33 benchmark. However, he lagged in good high claims, dropping to 1.0 against a 1.5 average, indicating room for improvement. These stats show a mix of strengths in stopping shots but a slight gap in aerial command.
So while Georgi Mamardashvili has his strengths, let's switch to another player. How about Florian Wirtz's recent performance?
Florian Wirtz maintained a solid rating of 7.57, aligning with his 7.06 average. He excelled in key passes, delivering 3.0 compared to his 2.08 season average. However, he fell short in big chances created, with just 1.0, below his 1.25 average. These numbers highlight his consistency in playmaking, though there's room for improvement in creating big opportunities.
Reflecting on Wirtz's consistency, we also saw Liverpool's 2-0 victory highlighting contrasting tactics. Frank's insights on tactical identities were enlightening. Thank you, Frank, for the deep dive, and to our audience, thanks for tuning in to Stats Madness. Until next time, goodbye.